To be consistent is to acknowledge a profound truth. Greatness is not born of sporadic bursts of effort, but of persistent, unrelenting labor. It is not the blaze of a momentary flame, but the steady, enduring glow of a hearth that warms the world. If you wait for motivation, you will wait forever. Feelings of fleeting resolve is enduring. Consider the small acts, the seemingly trivial commitments of each day. A single stone laid carefully each morning may seem insignificant, but in time it will build a fortress. Do not despise the humble beginnings of your daily efforts. They are the foundation upon which all grand achievements rest. Yet, consistency will not come easily. The path is strewn with temptations to abandon your course, fatigue, distraction, and the alluring whispers of tomorrow. These challenges are not your enemies, they are the crucibles in which your character is forged. Each time you resist the urge to give up, you are not merely maintaining your course, you are growing stronger. The necessity of discipline lies at the heart of any meaningful pursuit. Discipline is not a trait one is born with, but a quality that must be consciously cultivated and honed over time. It is the foundation upon which consistency is built, serving as the bridge between intention and action. Without discipline, even the noblest aspirations falter, lost in the chasm between desire and effort. To understand its significance, one must first recognize that discipline is not a mere tool, but a way of living, a habit of aligning one's actions with one's goals, regardless of circumstances or emotional states. At its core, discipline requires an acknowledgement of the gap between where you are and where you wish to be. This gap cannot be bridged by fleeting bursts of enthusiasm or the occasional surge of motivation. Instead, it demands a steady, deliberate approach anchored by a sense of purpose and a commitment to long-term growth. Discipline is the antidote to the chaotic pull of distractions and impulses that threaten to derail progress. It imposes order on the disarray of competing priorities, ensuring that what truly matters is given its due. One of the key challenges to cultivating discipline is the human tendency to seek comfort and immediate gratification. The mind often rebels against the idea of effort, preferring the ease of inaction to the rigor of persistence. Herein lies the paradox. Discipline may feel restrictive at first, but it is, in fact, liberating. It frees you from the tyranny of your impulses, allowing you to act in alignment with your deeper values and aspirations. The discipline to wake early, to work diligently, or to pursue a task even when uninspired is not a denial of freedom, but an affirmation of your agency, the power to choose the path of growth over stagnation. Discipline also demands a profound sense of self-awareness. To act with discipline is to recognize the patterns that hinder your progress and to take deliberate steps to counter them. It is not enough to merely wish for improvement. You must actively confront the habits, environments, and mindsets that impede your efforts. For example, an individual striving for physical fitness must not only commit to regular exercise, but also develop the discipline to make healthier dietary choices and resist the lure of inactivity. This requires constant vigilance and an unwavering focus on the goal at hand. Discipline is not synonymous with rigidity. True discipline involves adaptability, the ability to adjust your methods while maintaining your commitment to the underlying objective. Life is unpredictable, and unforeseen challenges will inevitably arise. Discipline equips you with the resilience to navigate these difficulties, ensuring that temporary setbacks do not become permanent obstacles. It teaches you to prioritize consistency over perfection, recognizing that progress, however imperfect, is still progress. The development of discipline is often marked by discomfort, especially in its early stages. Breaking free from old habits and establishing new ones is a process fraught with resistance. Yet it is precisely in these moments of discomfort that discipline proves its worth. Each act of perseverance strengthens your resolve, transforming discipline from an external imposition into an internalized way of being. Over time, what once required conscious effort becomes second nature as the disciplined mind learns to act in accordance with its goals without hesitation. It is also important to recognize that discipline is not a solitary endeavor. The influence of environment, relationships, and community plays a significant role in fostering or undermining discipline. Surrounding yourself with individuals who share your values and encourage your growth can provide the accountability and support needed to sustain your efforts. Conversely, environments that promote distraction or complacency can make the cultivation of discipline exponentially more challenging. Awareness of these external factors allows you to take proactive steps to align your surroundings with your intentions. The necessity of discipline lies in its transformative power. It is the force that turns potential into reality, dreams into accomplishments. While talent and inspiration may spark the initial flame, it is discipline that sustains it, providing the fuel needed to weather the trials of the journey. Those who embrace discipline do not merely achieve their goals, they become individuals capable of achieving even greater things. In this way, discipline is not just a tool for success, but a pathway to self-mastery, enabling you to transcend your limitations and live a life of purpose and fulfillment. Motivation and consistency are often misunderstood as interchangeable concepts when, in reality, they operate in starkly different realms of human effort. Motivation is the spark, an emotional surge that propels you into action. It is exciting, invigorating, and momentarily powerful, but like all emotions, it is fleeting. It ebbs and flows, dependent on external circumstances, internal moods, and the vagaries of life. In contrast, consistency is a steady force, unshaken by the highs and lows of emotional tides. It is the engine that keeps the train moving long after the thrill of starting the journey has faded. To build something lasting, one must learn to transcend the whims of motivation and cultivate the discipline required to be consistent. Motivation often strikes unexpectedly, like a sudden gust of wind filling your sails. It can be triggered by an inspiring story, a challenging goal, or even a fleeting desire to improve. In those moments, effort feels almost effortless, and the prospect of change seems both immediate and achievable. Yet this is where the illusion lies. Motivation does not last. A goal that feels urgent and exhilarating today may seem distant and burdensome tomorrow. When motivation fades, many fall into the trap of waiting for its return, mistakenly believing that action must be preceded by inspiration. This passive approach leads to stagnation, as the moments of high motivation become fewer and farther between. Consistency, on the other hand, is independent of emotional states. It does not rely on fleeting bursts of enthusiasm, but is grounded in a conscious decision to act regardless of how one feels. Consistency acknowledges that progress is made not in grand gestures, but in the small, repeated actions that accumulate over time. It is the quiet persistence of showing up, doing the work, and pushing forward even when the task feels tedious or uninspiring. While motivation may inspire you to take the first step, consistency ensures that you continue to walk the path, step by step, until the journey is complete. One of the greatest misconceptions about motivation is the belief that it is a prerequisite for action. In truth, action often precedes motivation. When you force yourself to begin, whether it's writing a single sentence, lifting a single weight, or taking a single step, you create momentum. This momentum generates its own kind of motivation, a sense of accomplishment that fuels further effort. Consistency thrives on this principle. The more you act, the more you want to act. By contrast, waiting for motivation creates inertia, a state of inaction that grows harder to escape with each passing moment. Consistency also builds resilience. Life is inherently unpredictable, filled with challenges, setbacks, and distractions that threaten to derail your progress. Motivation, being fragile and dependent on favorable conditions, often crumbles in the face of adversity. Consistency, however, is rooted in a deeper commitment that persists through difficulties. It is a habit of returning to the task, no matter how many times you are interrupted or discouraged. This resilience is not only practical but transformative. Each time you choose consistency over complacency, you strengthen your willpower and reinforce your identity as someone who perseveres. Another key aspect of consistency is its ability to establish habits. Human behavior is largely governed by routines, patterns of action that, over time, become automatic. When you act consistently, you train your mind and body to perform the desired behavior without conscious effort. What begins as a deliberate act of will eventually becomes second nature. For example, a person who consistently exercises at the same time every day will find that the habit becomes ingrained, requiring less mental energy to maintain. This transition from effort to habit is the true power of consistency, enabling sustained progress with minimal reliance on motivation. Consistency is also deeply tied to self-trust. When you act consistently, you demonstrate to yourself that you are reliable and capable of following through on your commitments. This builds confidence and a sense of control over your own life. Conversely, when you rely solely on motivation, you risk becoming inconsistent and untrustworthy in your own eyes. Each unfulfilled promise or abandoned goal erodes your self-belief, making future efforts more difficult. By choosing consistency, you create a positive feedback loop of trust and accomplishment that propels you forward. Consistency fosters long-term results in a way that motivation alone cannot. The most significant achievements in life, whether personal, professional, or creative, are the result of sustained effort over time. Motivation may help you start strong, but only consistency can carry you across the finish line. It is the difference between a sprinter who tires after a short burst and a marathon runner who paces themselves for the long haul. Consistency allows you to compound your efforts, turning small, incremental progress into monumental success. The role of small acts in achieving great goals is often underestimated. In a world that glorifies dramatic successes and overnight transformations, the quiet power of incremental effort tends to be overlooked. Yet, history, science, and personal experience all testify to the profound impact of small, consistent actions. These seemingly insignificant steps are the foundation of lasting change and meaningful accomplishment. They may not be glamorous or immediately gratifying, but they are essential to building the momentum and resilience needed for any significant endeavor. Small acts are accessible to everyone, regardless of their starting point. They do not demand extraordinary resources, ideal conditions, or innate talent. What they require is a willingness to begin. This universality makes them incredibly powerful. A single act of phone call, a page written, a 5-minute walk may seem inconsequential on its own, but it is a seed. When planted and nurtured with consistency, it grows into something far greater than its humble origins. A towering tree, after all, begins as a tiny seed, buried beneath the soil. The beauty of small acts lies in their cumulative nature. Each act builds upon the previous one, creating a compounding effect that magnifies the results over time. Consider the act of saving a small portion of your income each month. The initial amounts may seem negligible, but as they accumulate and benefit from interest, they grow into a substantial sum. This principle applies to all areas of life: learning, health, relationships, and personal development. The progress may be slow at first, almost imperceptible, but persistence transforms the mundane into the monumental. One of the most significant advantages of focusing on small acts is their sustainability. Grand gestures and drastic changes, while initially exciting, are often difficult to maintain. They require immense energy and willpower, which can quickly deplete. Small acts, on the other hand, are manageable. They fit seamlessly into daily life, making it easier to maintain consistency. A 10-minute workout is less daunting than an hour-long session, and reading a single chapter is more achievable than finishing an entire book in one sitting. These manageable steps lower the barriers to action, allowing you to build habits that endure. Small acts are a powerful antidote to procrastination. When faced with a large, intimidating task, it is easy to feel overwhelmed and paralyzed. Breaking the task into smaller, more approachable components provides a way forward. Writing a single sentence is far less daunting than drafting an entire report, yet it is a step in the right direction. Each small act reduces the psychological resistance to starting, creating momentum that carries you through the task. The role of small acts extends beyond their practical benefits. They also shape your mindset and identity. Each time you engage in a positive act, no matter how small, you reinforce the belief that you are capable of growth and change. If you consistently choose to exercise, even for a few minutes, you begin to see yourself as someone who values health and fitness. If you write a single paragraph each day, you start to identify as a writer. These small, repeated actions shape your self-image, aligning it with your goals and aspirations. Small acts are also a powerful tool for overcoming failure and setbacks. When a significant effort falters, the temptation to give up entirely can be strong. However, returning to small, manageable actions provides a way to regain momentum. Missed a week of workouts. Start with a short walk. Fell behind on a project. Complete one small task. These acts may not fully compensate for lost time, but they prevent you from falling further behind and help you rebuild your routine. Another overlooked benefit of small acts is their ability to generate ripple effects. A single positive action often leads to others, creating a chain reaction of beneficial behaviors. Drinking a glass of water in the morning, for example, might lead to a healthier breakfast, increased energy, and better focus throughout the day. This phenomenon, known as a keystone habit, illustrates how small acts can influence broader aspects of your life, fostering a culture of improvement and growth. Small acts also cultivate patience and perspective. They teach you to value progress over perfection and to appreciate the journey rather than obsess over the destination. This shift in mindset is particularly important in a world that often prioritizes instant results. When you embrace the power of small acts, you learn to trust the process, knowing that each step, however small, is bringing you closer to your goal. Small acts are a reminder of the agency you possess. In the face of daunting challenges or long-term goals, it is easy to feel powerless or overwhelmed. Yet each small act is a testament to your ability to act, to choose, and to make progress. They are a declaration of your commitment to growth and a recognition that even the smallest step forward is a step worth taking. Through small acts, great things are achieved not in an instant, but through the quiet, steady accumulation of effort over time. It is not the dramatic leaps, but the consistent, incremental steps that build the foundations of success. Challenges are an inevitable part of any pursuit, but their presence should not be seen as an obstacle to consistency. Instead, they should be embraced as opportunities for refinement and growth. Challenges, whether external circumstances or internal struggles, test your commitment and fortify your resolve. They are not merely hurdles to overcome, they are essential components of the journey, shaping both the outcome and the person striving to achieve it. To force yourself to remain consistent in the face of challenges is to transform those difficulties into stepping stones toward greater strength and resilience. One of the first lessons challenges teach is the value of perseverance. When the path becomes difficult, the temptation to abandon your efforts can be strong. Yet it is precisely in these moments that consistency matters most. Each act of persistence strengthens your willpower, transforming what may have initially felt insurmountable into a manageable task. This process of steady, determined effort builds confidence in your ability to face adversity, creating a feedback loop that encourages further persistence in the face of future obstacles. Challenges also serve as a mirror, reflecting the areas where growth is needed. A person striving to develop a new skill, for example, may encounter moments of frustration or failure. These moments reveal weaknesses or gaps in understanding that must be addressed. Instead of viewing such difficulties as a reason to quit, they should be seen as a guide pointing the way toward improvement. By forcing yourself to remain consistent despite setbacks, you not only make progress toward your goal, but also address the underlying issues that may have hindered you. Consistency in the face of challenges also cultivates adaptability. No plan, no matter how well conceived, remains untouched by unforeseen circumstances. Life is inherently unpredictable, and challenges often require you to adjust your methods while remaining steadfast in your commitment to the goal. This ability to adapt without losing focus is a hallmark of resilience. It ensures that temporary obstacles do not derail your efforts entirely, but instead become opportunities to refine your approach. For instance, an athlete who faces an injury may shift their focus to mental training or alternative exercises, maintaining consistency in their broader commitment to improvement. Another key aspect of challenges is their role in redefining your limits. Often, the boundaries of what you believe you are capable of are self-imposed. Challenges push you beyond these perceived limits, forcing you to discover strengths and abilities you did not realize you possessed. This expansion of your capacity is not only empowering, but also necessary for growth. Each time you push through a difficult moment, you raise the bar for what you can achieve in the future. Challenges also provide a crucial opportunity to practice patience. Progress is rarely linear, and setbacks are a natural part of any journey. In moments of difficulty, the temptation to seek quick fixes or shortcuts can be strong. However, true consistency requires the patience to endure these setbacks, trusting that persistent effort will eventually yield results. This patience is not passive, it is an active choice to continue moving forward, even when the path ahead is unclear. To personal growth, challenges also deepen your understanding of your goals and motivations. When faced with difficulties, you are forced to confront why you began the journey in the first place. This reflection can either reaffirm your commitment or prompt you to adjust your objectives. Either way, it ensures that your efforts are aligned with your true priorities, adding depth and meaning to your pursuit. Challenges also foster creativity and problem solving. When the usual methods fail, you are compelled to think outside the box and explore alternative approaches. This process of experimentation not only helps you overcome the immediate difficulty, but also equips you with a broader set of tools and strategies for the future. For example, an artist struggling with creative block may discover new techniques or sources of inspiration simply by persisting through the challenge. Challenges strengthen the relationship between effort and reward. Achievements gained without struggle are often taken for granted, while those earned through consistent effort are deeply valued. The satisfaction of overcoming a challenge is not just about the end result, it is about the journey, the persistence, and the growth that occurred along the way. This sense of accomplishment reinforces your belief in the value of consistency, encouraging you to continue even in the face of future difficulties. Challenges have a way of revealing your true character. It is easy to remain consistent when conditions are favorable, but it is in moments of difficulty that your commitment is truly tested. How you respond to these moments defines not only the outcome of your efforts, but also the person you become. Choosing to persevere, to adapt, and to maintain your focus in the face of adversity builds integrity, resilience, and a profound sense of self-respect.